to that bottom right corner of the map. So now that they've got these new teammates, they have to navigate that, and all these other new players that they haven't faced yet. There's lots of people that are coming up first times on land from the winter qualifiers. It's just most exciting part of the game, in my opinion, the early strategy portion.
I mean, game number 2, you know, what do you think is going through a lot of these guys' head right now? I mean, they're sitting out there away from us, you know. Their nerves are kind of calmed down. They're starting to get into a little bit of a groove with these games. But Kitty, you've played, you know, you played in Korea. You've played in a lot of these competitions. How do you navigate this as a player? What are some of your tactics that, you know, to calm your nerves and to get settled in and kind of just go with the flow of things in these games?
Take a few deep breaths, remind myself I've got nothing to prove. It's still a game. It's going to be fun. Don't think about the fact that there's a huge prize pool on the line and hundreds of thousands of people watching, and just get into it. I think a lot of these guys early game, they need to make that decision. Do they want to be an early aggressive team, or do they want to just wait to get that loadout?
So we'll have to take a peek back later and see what's going on. But right now we have JDW, Ronan, Germ, and Aegis kind of at a turtle war. We're gonna have to take a peek in their little shell here and see what they've got going on.
Oh, wow. I think JDW just went down to a third party there. Ronan and Aegis choosing to probably take down these walls. Oh, yeah, you see the shots coming in right now.
We do have third-party shots coming in. So this is going to be interesting here.
Not something you want to happen when you're so focused on the audio in your turtle war. You do not notice that third party that comes in. The wall could have gotten shot out behind you, and before you know it, you're down, which is what I think happened to these two. And now taking advantage of those stink grenades, unfortunately. Oh, just in time with those explosions. He gets the revive.
JD, the revive, the resurrection, the revive. But we are going to see a lot of third-party shots coming in here. Frosty is down and is trying to crawl away. I think he's afraid of getting hit with one of those stink bombs, it looks. I mean, those will take you out very quickly if you are down. 5 damage per tick. So you know what? You got to be very careful and very mindful of where they're coming from. Kind of excuse yourself from the situation, if you will.
Take advantage. He is in a 1v2 situation. Do you see that at the bottom right corner, there's another player that looks like they're pushing in. Oh, using the heavy sniper, taking out the wall. Looks like 2 of them are fighting in the zone right now. Just got a knock on him. Oh!
Butter does take a lot of shots here. He's trying to determine where the shots are coming from. Unfortunately, was not able to. That was Bowman coming through the storm. And
absolutely, guys. We got some early action with Ziff and Pavzi in a 2v2 in Lazy Link. Ziff takes out Devious, and Pavzi is holding the high ground right here on top of Monster. They both pressure him from different angles, and they get these first 2 elims to start off round 2 of the Secret Skirmish. Great play and great positioning from both these players. Over here, we have Sheep in a 1v2 situation against Grenades and Nate Hill. He takes out Grenades and Thurston for the shield, and then after getting into a bit of a build fight with Nate Hill from the low ground, he's looking for that angle. Eventually, he takes out Nate Hill with the SMG spray into the pump shotgun shot. Very amazing play from Sheep. 1v2 against 2 of the best players in the world. Guys, let's kick it back to the casters to continue game 2.
Things are going to start getting way more chaotic as the next circle closes in. Here we go. This is it. This is the moment. This is what all of these players are in scrims doing every night, training for this exact moment. We have Kayuzi there, Vide. We've got Mateus hunkered down in a structure as well. Psychic, Persecute, also in a metal structure. Everyone kind of just wanting to take shots, but you don't want to draw too much attention to yourself at this point, because all it takes is one other player to notice your head peeking out, and you will be sent back to the lobby.
Oh, and right into that 1v1 of Bizzle, one of my favorite players. He's already done 471 damage this game. His partner, Triggy Soares, is a controller gang player, and I think the 2 of these matched together is going to be amazing. Bizzle is known for his great strategy, his clear rotations, and his great game sense, so having a teammate like Triggy to help him secure those eliminations is going to really do well for him. But oh, and these guys are sitting on a rift. That is an ideal situation. And Sheep! able to pick up another elimination, or 2 more eliminations since we've seen him. Absolutely outstanding solo gameplay.
Like we said, he does have that RPG, does have the compact SMG and the shotgun. He is going to be able to heal up to 75 with the bandages at this point, but Bizzle and Triggy utilizing, like you said, that rift to go to gain high ground on all of these players, and they still have a launch pad on top of that. So mobility going into these end circles is very important. Bizzle and Triggy Soars, they got it.
Yeah, Bizzle is meticulous. He loves the high ground, and you can see him talking a lot. He is making most, if not all, of the in-game calls right now for his teammate. And like whenever we go to these high ground spectators, it is almost always Bizzle that has that high ground. And you see him making a push over, and nobody really noticing that he's up there right now. There's a little bit of chaos now that the zone is going to be a moving one, and you see everyone down below. Mid ground, high ground, low ground, everyone doing their best to get to zone, and hopefully get some tags on these guys as they make their rotate.
Yeah, Bizzle trying to take shots to, you know, when you are using your glider or your umbrella, you are vulnerable for a moment. So Bizzle really trying to capitalize on that, get as much damage as he can. Even if he doesn't get a knock or an elimination, it doesn't matter. This is endgame. All you want to do is try to apply pressure, try to get damage on your opponents. It doesn't matter if you get the elimination or the knock. You're wanting to apply pressure so that later on, they're just easy targets to be taken out.
Yeah, there's no way that these guys are getting the revive now with these moving zones as well. So that knock pretty much equates to an elimination. And we see Ronaldo and Saf, who currently have 5 eliminations, taking advantage of the stink grenades and the clingers. 1 more elimination is going to put them in that 2-point range for the main board.
And they just got it.
And
there
they just
it is. Saf secured it. So
speak of the devil, these guys.
Look at you.
Amazing job.
You are just, I mean, you're...
Oh, and Triggy, like I was saying earlier, that firepower. When you put a controller player on the high ground like that, especially one as amazing as Triggy Soars, he is going to be getting those eliminations. And these guys are now at 7 eliminations, heading towards that big bonus territory after that 8th. Amazing job. I mean, and ultimate high ground. Like, what did I say? These guys.
You've got the premonitions today, Kitty. Would you want to make a prediction right now? Right now. Quickly.
Bizzle.
Bizzle. All right, she called it. Let's see if she's right.
There you go. Triggy getting another elimination on Kiwi Face. Just totally dominating the field, blanketing across, and now opting to drop down a little bit more. See, Bizzle is so great at this. He knows exactly when he needs to drop down just that little bit, and when things are starting to get a little bit scary, you never want to hold ultimate high ground when there's not as many players. Now there's down to 4 players. It is Triggy versus, I think, Ronaldo and Saf still, and these two 2v2 situation, and this matchup absolutely insane.
Triggy is going to drop down a little bit.
Takes out Saf.
He takes out Saf, however. Triggy does go down, but it doesn't matter. Bizzle is there. Kitty, oh my goodness.
In game 1, we saw Demo win, and now it's Bizzle winning. Here is the final moments if you missed them. Triggy knocking Saf, Ronaldo coming through and getting the knock on Triggy, but Bizzle with that high ground, able to take advantage of the rotation from Ronaldo into the storm, knowing exactly where he's pushing and getting that clean pump shot on him. I think we're just about to see this, and boom.
There it is.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Standings time right here. Coming in, number 1, Bizzle and Triggy Swords. After that phenomenal game, they jump up 7 places to find themselves in the number 1 spot, pushing back Demo and Tfue. They won game 1, and they're saying, listen, step aside. You've got a new pack leader. Right
14 elims for them. It seems like elims are rewarding players with the points that they need to get on top.
That's right. Bowman Vivid there in 3rd. Ronaldo and Saf there in 4th. And Persecute and Psychic coming up in number 5th. I mean, even someone like Jade Truth and Thweeful, look at them jumping up 32 places with their performance. And that's only with 2 points, Cypher. We're hopping into game number 3, so points still up for grabs.
Every round counts, guys. Even if you have a rough start, if you have one good game, you can secure yourself a place in the top 10 very easily.
Now, what do you think, man? You have like a duo that's kind of caught your eye?
I think Kayun and Tyler 15 definitely have something to bring to the table. Tyler 15 performed really well in the Winter Royale, and Kayun is just a strong competitor overall. You better look out for them.
Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to hop into game